Here's what's happening in your city.
My name's Jason Bardyla, and this is Shawna, and together we own a business called Happy Harbor Comics here in Edmonton. And today we're going to be making... What are we making?
We're making a grilled lamb rack. It's basted in some blueberry wine. Actually, it's marinated. It's really yummy. And just a green salad with some bocconcini cheese and a balsamic vinaigrette.
We've had it marinating overnight, so we'll get her up there. The blueberry wine we got was actually a special gift that we received when a couple weeks ago we won a national award for being the best retailer in Canada. So for comic book stores, we received a couple bottles of wine, so we thought, well, this is a good excuse to test it out and see if we can make something tasty out of it, and I think we will. So far, so good. So we'll close the lid on that. This is kind of our home, and you can see that we bring a lot of our work home with us because, we can, and it's fun. We're very big into all different types of comic books. I like a lot of the superhero stuff. Shawna likes to read a lot of the independent stuff, but she's a true Wonder Woman fan at heart. So we're going to be making just a simple, relatively simple green salad.
Yeah.
I've been reading comics since I was a kid, a very, very young kid. I was about 6, 7 years old when I first read my first comic. I was 8 when I started buying my own. I was 9 when I had to get a paper route to keep buying them. I was 9.5 when I got a second paper route because I wanted a lot of them. And it just kind of spun on from there. Shawna was actually still living back in Ontario, when I was working for the store here in Edmonton, and she was a mail order customer. And, you'd only been reading for a couple of years even at that point, hadn't you, Shawna?
Oh, about 4 years.
We relocated the store to Edmonton, and the reason we came back to Edmonton was that we had a large customer base already in Edmonton, so it just made sense to kind of go to them and service them directly as opposed to doing all the mail order that we were doing.
Are you anything like the comic book guy in the Simpsons?
I think I'm a little thinner, and I've even took a couple of years. I had a little extra weight, and you can see my clothes are kind of a little bit baggier than they used to be, but no, I think there are a lot of aspects that are very true. I mean, I get phone calls, people just ask me random pieces of trivia, and I can answer them usually without hesitating. I'm not usually as dictatorial around the customers touching the merchandise. Our store is pretty accessible and very friendly, but a geek's a geek at the end of the day. Because you got your sports geeks and your theater geeks and all that kind of stuff, although they'll never announce themselves as geeks, but I mean, anyone who can rattle off the pitching statistics of a guy on grass as opposed to AstroTurf is a geek, whether they want to admit it or not. My favorite comic book is the Justice League of America, and that's actually where the name of the store comes from. Most people remember the Justice League from like the 80s campy Super Friends cartoon, but the Justice League comic book started in the early 60s. Their very first headquarters was in Happy Harbor, Rhode Island, and that's where I took the name for the store.
Wonder Woman and also Batman. Want to marry him someday, but stuck with you, I guess.
Yeah. We should probably check on our lamb at some point. This is the award that we won back on the 9th of June. And that's, a rendering of Joe Shuster, our co-creator of Superman. And the award is named after Harry Kramer, who opened one of the very first comic book stores in North America. We're going to pop our head back out onto the patio for a moment and see how things are going. Actually, it's looking really, really good. Wow. When we opened our store, never said, oh, let's do all this so we can win an award. At the time when we opened the store, we actually didn't even know there were awards for this sort of thing. So, of course, you just go and you do what you do. And then to have someone come along and say, you know what, we're really blown away. From our end, it's like, thanks. At the same time, we also have to go, okay, we can't be done. This isn't good enough. We have to continue what we're doing, but there's still other things that we want to do as well. We've got a lot of big plans, but, we have to kind of move slow and take them step by step. I think our meal is just about complete. I know it's quite good. Mm-hmm. And it is. And it's very good. Cheers.
Your city, what local TV should be. Weeknights at 6:30 on City TV.